Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Market Mamas. I'm so excited to talk about this next book with you all that we definitely recommend as a must-read for all traders. It's Best Loser Wins by Tom Hougaard. I believe this book was recommended to me by someone in my trading community last year, and I loved it from the introduction. You guys, this book opens with a letter written to the market, and I swear it speaks to my heart with every line. Okay, such as this one. You gave me challenges so hard, even a drill sergeant would have to give you a nod of respect, and I will always love you for it. I mean, so great. I am sure I recommend it further to Kendra by the time I only got as deep as into the killer introduction. I was like, you have to start this book, girl.
Oh my gosh, yes, you highly recommended it, and it just became one of those that I started blowing you up with like right away with notes and quotes and aha moments. That's a big thing that Becky and I often do all day. We'll like just share gems back and forth with each other, and it's honestly how we develop and come up with a lot of content ideas, discussion topics for the podcast also. And I really believe it does kind of help us retain more of the powerful content we consume also. And much of it's timeless. I've gone back many times and watched episodes already now that we've made, just to get those reminders. But okay, anyway, back to the book. Yes, that intro was fire. You guys have to hear the whole thing. So author Tom, he hooked us, from the beginning, but he also packed the book full of like excellent tips for traders. But he also speaks, from real experiences. And he also correlates it to a lot of, behavior modification techniques in general. So he speaks from real experience, he being one of the most prolific high stakes retail traders in the world. His style of trading is with very much high leverage, and it's definitely necessitated his strict adherence to risk management rules. And that's the main point to this book, as one might guess from the title. So he talks a bit about technical analysis, but largely focuses on the mind, strategies, for your psychology management. And one of the things he states in the book, which I really appreciated, was, I am a professional trader. I cannot afford to go into the trading ring without being 100% mentally prepared. So he really stresses the importance of that preparation, for all traders to have in their process to serve them.
Yeah, that's so good. Early in the book, Hougaard says, people don't fail because they don't know enough about technical analysis. They fail because they don't understand what the markets are doing to their minds. If this isn't the cold, hard truth, the psychological work of becoming a consistent trader is where the real effort must take place to break through to the next levels. Technical analysis is the early work and the meat and potatoes of becoming a trader, but there's so much more to the whole of becoming a trader. Like the flavor, the side dishes, beverages, spices, and dessert with the meal. So much more than meat and potatoes. It all has to be brought together and merged seamlessly. The work in the depths of the mind is the trickiest part too. The finesse of it all is really an art. And it's a different flavor for each of us as well, as our makeup and core beings are varied person to person, the way we see the market, the way it speaks to us. So our more significant hurdles do not always look the same, but variety is a spice of life and of a trader's journey. We all walk our own paths and figure it out for ourselves.
Becky, you are speaking my love language. All the elements, sweet, salty, bitter, sour, umami, spicy for me, of course. We have to balance all those flavors together, how we each prefer. So I really like this next part from Tom. The best way for your rational mind to solve the discomfort of a profitable position is to close it. The best way for your rational mind to resolve the discomfort of a losing position is to let it run. I mean, we've all experienced those sensations, right? We get into a trade and then the angst and the anxiety starts up. You can question everything about it. Doubt starts to set in, especially if it doesn't immediately start moving in your direction. Only by closing the trade, one way or the other, do our nerves get that break. So we want to stop the pain. It's comparable to lifting weights, or, running even, when it hurts, and your breath and your heart rate, increasing, they're elevating, your brain will do its job pretending to protect you and send you every signal to let up, to get out of this, discomfort. So in that moment, you feel as if you must take a break. And that's just so not the case. Our bodies are capable of just doing so much more than our minds can keep up with. But the only way to discover that is to really, make that choice, to push yourself, beyond that discomfort, to discover those new records, and those breakthroughs. So, lift one more rep, run another minute or another mile, hold your trade as you originally planned to, for us, right? So, Tom, he talks a lot in the book about finding ways to draw connections, with trading and how you go about other things in life, because it's all connected. And so I've said before, myself, that stretching your mind is just as important as stretching your body. So I can certainly, think of times when I need to do just that, when I'm in a trading session, maybe I'm getting wrapped too tightly around a bias or a specific level, or even just wanting to make up a loss instead of just accepting a respectable red day.
Right. It's such a good metaphor. I mean, those lessons are always a work in progress. Okay, so this next quote from the book that we have referred to so many times, this is the gold standard for Kendra and I. It's, I know I put in the effort. I know that everything I do on a daily basis is the result of grit and determination. I am not talented. I am hardworking. I am not gifted. I am determined. I am not lucky. I am persistent. This is such an applicable set of sentences to the mindset that leads to a successful trader. You cannot rely on talent or luck to win in this line of work, or many this applies to, really. Those relying on luck, that leads to failure. The only way to earn consistent profitability is to work for it day after day, accept defeats with an open mind to find the lessons in them. Refine your rules and do your best to follow them so that you can continue to have an account to trade over time and respect the process with your pace with it. Without grit and determination, a sane adult would not keep entering this arena each morning and throwing their money at the market and praying that it will come back to them tenfold. No. For longevity and a chance at success, you have to want to be a successful trader as badly as you want to breathe. You have to feel the dedication to get up early every morning and stay up late many nights, showing up to the work that's required to take the lessons and improve from them. Even when the subtle improvements are not visible in the day-to-day, you can hold the faith that they are compounding in the background because of the work that you continuously put forth. And it can be the most beautiful journey to just let it all compound like that.
For sure. Okay, so this next part is one of my very favorites, and it really kind of just pings off that so nicely. Here we go. You must be patient with yourself. You must be able to let your knowledge settle and mature within you. If you trade small size now, but you want to trade bigger size in the future, then that journey will most likely be anything but linear. It will be a journey of progress and setbacks. It will be a journey of progress and status quo. I can guarantee you that you will have to grow into the trader you dream of becoming. You must be patient with your trade entries. You must be patient with yourself. If you can bring those two qualities to the table, then the rest will solve itself in time. You will grow your trade size at a pace where your mind will not be alarmed or fearful. Wow. I'm like Papa Tom, right? Like it's like Grandpa right there. Like I needed that. I fell so in love with that entirely when I very first read it. And it's probably been about a year since we, first went through this book. And it just still resonates so much with me, like even on a deeper level from being even more deeper in and having to, just live this out day by day. I'm often reminding myself that I signed up to do something that is not linear. And it does have significant peaks and valleys. The amount of patience I've had to, have with myself and the acceptance of the inevitable drawdowns, it has not been easy to come by.
Right. And Excellent quote for just who we are as human women traders, all of it. So I love that. Okay, so this next one speaks to my soul with how I have needed to grow for sure. Here we go. Anything can happen, and I am emotionally detached from the outcome. I do certainly believe that anything can happen when trading this market. However, maturing to a point at which I am emotionally detached from the outcome is another story. My first year in trading, I know that I felt the momentum and then the dips of the roller coaster ride pretty substantially for sure. One day, trading is the most amazing, glorious, profitable well of life that I have found myself in. And then another day, that same week, I am questioning my life and my choices and my time and my energy and mourning the lost capital and skirting around some depression. Obviously, both extremes are not preferable or healthy or balanced in any way. But we here at Market Mamas are all about the raw truth. And this phase happened. I think it happens to probably most traders. Definitely in my case. Thankfully, I'm quite a bit more chill with my trading setups these days. I still internally do a little happy dance when my trade works out as planned and my daily points are confirmed. And conversely, I let out a little sigh of discomfort when my stop is taken and my accounts go red on the morning. But most days, I can breathe through whichever emotional edge that I could fall into and instead aim for neutrality. If I won or lost a trade, the priority has got to stay with whether or not I followed my system, respected my trade plan, what did I learn from that trade, and what my next priority is. Can I still be trading, or do I need to move on with the rest of my day because my time is over? I have to kind of stay focused with what's happening and not go down the rabbit hole of emotions. I wouldn't say that I'm there yet. I'm not emotionally detached from my trading yet, but I am most certainly a lot closer than I've ever been. And generally, I'm more emotionally peaceful most of the time. So the tilting FOMO revenge trades, they happened, but they're much less now, thank heavens. So there's some growth there that I'm really kind of into.
Yes, girl, we are works in progress on the emotional front for sure. But the improvement over the past 3 years is legit. We're getting there step by step. So I loved it when Tom wrote, "Every moment is unique, and I'm no longer drawing associations between this moment and another moment." This has been so important, for me to remember, each morning I'm getting ready to participate. We really do need fresh eyes and a neutral perspective, just for a brand new story each day. I've had so many days in the past where I've carried over with me, performance flaws that negatively impacted me. So then I thought by doing the opposite on the next day that I was making a better choice. However, I've learned that more often than not, that is just not the case. Of course, unless it's like a hard rule, like stopping at your max loss or not revenge trading, then yes, never. That's never something you want to repeat. But if it's other things, like just all the moving parts of trading that we, have to assess, each day, whether it's the conditions, whether deciding if we should be scalping in the moment or trying to hold our position, if we should be taking a momentum breakout, and not hesitating on our entry, or if we should be waiting for a deeper pullback, how to manage each trade. Like those items need to be assessed, diagnosed, and, treated patient by patient or trade by trade, right, Nurse Becky? So, we really need to detach ourselves from the biases, remain objective, curious, and current with the active market, not our previous execution outcomes. He also said, "There's a random distribution of wins and losses. I accept the outcome as if it were a coin flip exercise." Such a chill way of looking at it, right? if only, but it's true. This is, it's, you win some, you lose some, type of energy. And it is one of the few guarantees that we have in trading is that we will win some and we will lose some. So I feel like I have gotten better at being aware of this, but it's still something I'm trying to actively manage because it is so hard. Most things in life, we do learn one way to do it, and then all we have to do is repeat. And so trading is so much more complex, but it's also what makes it worth it and such a challenging pursuit.
Those are such important factors that we have to always remember with our trading system for sure. I also really like the quote, No man ever steps in the same river twice. I feel this way about Miss Market nearly every day, that each day is unique, and it's so critical to be able to stay present with her and catch her rhythm on that given day, to not presume to know where she's going and how she's going to get there. Sure, it's strong trading to have an idea of the potential outcomes based on your understanding of the market, context, value migration, patterns, but a sense of certainty with it is not wise. A river is constantly flowing, changing, shifting. Being flexible and open to the movements is the best way to not get trapped and to see the opportunities as they evolve. This is something that I only now understand better with time and experience at the charts and learning the hard way. This fits nicely with another gem from the book. I don't have to know what will happen next to make money. So true. We just need to remain calm, open, and hedge our bets with the most likely scenario. Protect our back end with a reasonable protective stop, and then let her move. There's no certainty in trading. Sorry to break that to anyone who might have had other ideas on the subject. But it's a game of risk and reward. You have to study, practice, risk, fail, risk more, maybe win, risk again and lose, and so on. It's a never-ending journey for us. Eventually, your winners do outweigh your losers if you're able to be a trader for long enough to get to that point. And then you can really find your upswing from there, keep that momentum going. But that process, realistically, could take years to really get going in the right direction.
It totally can. So, another element in Tom's book that I just really found true value in is how he discusses behavior change. So, he poses the question, would you be more motivated to get healthy and fit by seeing a picture of yourself in your best body or a picture of yourself obese and very unhealthy? For me, it's definitely the second, right? I don't know. I mean, I think for most people, it's probably the second. So he points out that disgust is indeed the biggest and best motivator. And we are most apt to change our behavior pattern once we become truly disgusted by it. I know this is a little rougher, and, I'm all about the positive vibes, the motivation, but this is real talk. Sometimes we do need that reality check, to feel the impact of our poor choices and sit in that. Not stay there, of course, but to learn from it, and get tired or disgusted, better yet, with the self-sabotage, right? So what do we do? Tom gives very much, very sound advice and helpful advice in this next part that goes like this. You can strip yourself naked, metaphorically, and get honest with yourself. Stop trading and start reviewing. What is it that you are consistently doing that is causing you not to make money? Take yourself apart and clean up the process. Discover your weaknesses. Where does your mind let you down? Exposing weaknesses is a good thing. Being honest with yourself and others puts you ahead of 99% of people and sets you up to be a winner.
I love those so much. It's like when we have a red day and we really still have to process it and journal it out and write down every trade that we took, that we revenged and we FOMO'd and we chased, and to just put it in your face and acknowledge it and be a bit disgusted and know that we can do better and we don't want to see that day again if we can avoid it. That disgust is actually really powerful. It was well worded.
Yeah.
Okay, another part of the best loser that I personally struggle with is how comfortable he is at this point in his trading with higher leverage coupled with longer trade hold times. I have so much growth to get to in this department of my trading. 2 quotes from Tom on this subject are, I believe in defining my risk. I don't believe in defining my reward. And 99% still don't get it. When they win, they start betting less, bet more. I listened to this intently on this explanation with this point, and I can see why he has the bank account that he has. As a still relatively young trader, this is really actually quite hard for me. When I started getting into profits on my good trade, I so often feel the urge for the trade to close. It's scalping mentality for sure. That's my go-to at this point in my career. I'm scared that the profits that are starting to compound will disappear if I don't lock them in. And sure, that is a real risk. It could happen. However, there is a confidence there that is slowly building with time and needs more work. The knowing when my trade plan really is a solid setup and I just need to give her room to move, to dance around a bit as she moves towards my targets, and then even hold longer than my targets if the market is not giving me the signs that I need to close and the move is not over yet. I still most often will scale out at the very next target and then close a trade completely at a moderate target within my trade plan. As I evolve, I'm working on my hold muscle to trust my abilities, especially when I'm in one of my higher likely setups and it looks good. The scaling out helps, but I do think this is a skill that comes with experience, time, experience in holding trades. I intend to re-listen to this book annually as I grow into and mature as a trader and continue to put energy into this area of my evolution for sure, because I definitely love the P&L outcome from holding a solid trade to a deeper target for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we're going to get there. It's like there was a time when we couldn't even really get in a trade that we could hold anyways, right? So we're going to get there. Our best trading days lie ahead, all of us, right? So thank you all for being here with us. This was just another book that we just found so much value in and we wanted to share with the community. And I mean, getting back into it again after last year, I was like, oh my gosh, like it's just so many good gems, so many good examples in this book. So you guys, please check it out. Of course, we listen to it on Audible. Best Loser Wins. And we'll be back with more episodes, more discussions, and more book reviews for you all. So we hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks for joining us and hanging out with us. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.